Ahoy there, matey. Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-888-88-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the Boater, and Mike the Mariner rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. All right, so we got a lot to cover today.
No, we got one thing.
Just one thing? No, we
Just
do.
one thing.
Well, I have a big announcement. I have some World of
We don't
Boating
care.
swag
No.
that we are going to start offering up to our passengers, hopefully within the next couple weeks. So, you know, being in this time of COVID and everybody's trying to, stretch their dollars as much as they can. I started getting a bunch of emails through the Facebook page and worldofboating.com like, hey, Greg, can we get a World of Boating hat? And you may have noticed that we don't have much up there at the moment, but that's about to change because we got to start scraping together every nickel we can and start offering this up. You see Barry the Boater on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wearing a World of Boating t-shirt. You're thinking to yourself, how could I look as cool as Barry the Boater? Okay, maybe that's not a great example. However,
Everything you just said is code for your wife made you clean out the studio closet.
wrong. No,
I need a new T-shirt anyhow.
We have some new stuff, not just T-shirts. We got some pretty cool things in the works, mugs,
Like?
that kind of thing. We had that boating line of Ahoy something. The coffee mug. It's up on the Facebook page. I don't know how to say it verbally, but you can see it. And matter of fact, I got to fill it up. I'll show it a little bit
Ahoy.
later on YouTube. And,
Ahoy mockers.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But we're gonna get some cool World of Boating swag and blast our logo over all kinds of different products that you can pick up, and we're working on that. So it's not up there yet, but that was a little tease. I'm in the process of evaluating particular products that I think would sell at this particular time. And actually, I had this idea. What do you guys think of this?
Back in the old days, taking a child's temperature was a real hassle. Hold still. Let me get the lube here. Now let me just get this. No, hold still. Hold still. Stop squirting. Stop squirting. Those messy tubes of lube. The constant turmoil in your family. Well, those days are over. The easy way to get a child's temperature without them even knowing. Even when they're sound asleep, you can sneak up on them and get their temperature to find out if they're sick or if they're faking it and trying to drain your bank account by useless trips to the pediatrician. Sometimes those little bastards are really crafty, so nip it in the bud instead of the butt. Here's how to order yours.
To get your very own digital temperature system, call 1-800-MO-BETTA. That's 1-800-MO-BETTA. Or send your credit card to Greg Holt, Drawer J, Lot 909, Altamont Springs, Florida. Cards will not be returned.
Yeah, that is true. Just
That's
because
disturbing.
So I would
You
like to
don't
take
think
this
that-
time to officially announce this is my last show.
What? Wait,
so you guys are not a fan of that particular product idea?
I wish you wouldn't do that stuff.
where does that digital thing actually go?
Only Barry the Boater would want to know, and
Well,
bring
there's
that
some
up.
things I don't want to know.
So I know, but that was a product I was considering, but
Are you going to try it out first?
well, I don't know. Do you think the product has value for our
I
passengers?
think you should try. You should
in this
try it
time
out
of
and
need
tell
when you
us.
have to check people's temperature before they can get on your boat and stuff. Would that be a product worth branding?
Yeah,
No one
anybody
has-
who would let you check their temperature that way does not get on your boat.
Okay.
Well-
All right. So that's not a no. So, all right. And there could be some issues with that particular product. I don't know if it'll make the cut, but just know that we are working on it. And
Only if they name it after Greg.
all
Yeah,
right.
when Greg says he's evaluating new product, that means any advertiser who's willing to send him free stuff, he'll be
Shirts,
happy to check it out.
hats,
He won't
yes.
share it with us. I'm still waiting on a pair of custom shoes from who was that you had set up to do the shoes there, Greg?
No, I have
for
no
us?
idea.
Like 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
His memory's gone.
Sebago, I think it was.
No, that's incorrect. I'll send you one of these thermometer things. Yeah, when you get it, I'll call you up and I'll say, "Hey, Patrick, okay, bend over."
Is it the test one or is it a clean new one?
Okay, enough of that. Anyway,
Not funny.
okay, I guess that's not going over well with the crew, so I guess I'll
Yeah.
I'll put that in the proper file.
You know how many comments on when I check iTunes and I look at the comments for the show, how many of them say Greg is not funny? This will now make 5,332 comments.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with being funny, Patrick. It had to do with educating our passengers accordingly. So,
Yeah, can we
and
get
I
to the news?
apologize in advance, so it doesn't matter. All right, so moving on. What do you got?
Well, breaking news out of Southeast Florida. And this is one of those rare occasions when they're going to relinquish the helm to another crew member. It's bad enough they had the bandana wearing iguanas starting to steal boats down there. But Barry, I literally had to talk him off his roof 2 days ago about what's going on down there. And although this doesn't affect the overall world of boating, this does lead us to a much bigger problem, maybe. So, Barry, you want to fill us in on what's happening down there and what the effect is, what the impact could be for boaters really in the U.S.
I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
All right. And that was Barry the boater.
Miami-Dade County, in their wisdom, is going to allow the Army Corps of Engineers to suck up all the sand at the haul-over sandbar so they could place it at the Bay Harbor beaches.
I'm a fan of them taking that sandbar out of there, I don't care where they put it.
Well, that's what they want to do. They want to take a sandbar that a lot of boats use on the weekends. There are a lot of food barges that go out there. It's really a nice place for the whole family. And they're going to dump that sand in the exclusive area of Bal Harbor because I guess they can't afford to do it themselves. So they're going to steal our sand instead of taking it off somewhere in the ocean.
Well, let me a couple things here as you talk about that. One, I'm not a fan of that sandbar. I think having that party spot right there in a navigable waterway, especially that particular right outside of haulover the boat ramp, is one of the craziest areas I've ever been through while boating. It is literally the modern day version of the Wild West for boaters. Not a fan, and I'm pretty sure Seatow and Boat Tow US are crying when they read that because that's probably about 75% of their business down in that area.
It is a lucrative area.
Sandbar.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It's very lucrative, but there's more to it. First of all, you're talking about the haul-over ramps are a little bit north of that,
Right.
so they really don't interfere with the sandbar. It's deep water over there.
No, I know that. I'm just saying the amount of boaters in that area.
Yeah. Now, they also are talking about dredging or redredging the inlet, which does have a problem. They're going to open that up more. And if you were to look at a satellite view, you could see it's shallow when you get past the inlet and you want to go further west. It's shallow. That needs to be dredged out. But to take all the sand and make it into a 6-foot deep area kind of takes away the fun of boating in that area. And I don't know of another sandbar that is close. That means if boats want to go out there, they're going to have to go to the local islands around there. And if you've ever been there, it's not smooth sand in there. There's a lot of rock there that could really damage your hull. So,
well, a couple things. It won't the sand be prone to gather again over the years? I mean, that's
they're saying the time frame's about 5 years before it kind of builds up enough to be a useful sandbar again, which begs to ask the question is, if they're going to, why take that sand? Why not get sand from somewhere off the deep waters there where there's plenty of sand and bring it aboard? And then if it starts to get too thick or too high in that area, then you take it down a couple of feet. But they want to take 6 feet of sand away. They really want to empty this thing out.
Well, because
which entity actually?
All the sand in that area is high grade sand because of the amount of alcohol that's been spilled. It is the most sterile, clean sand probably in the world.
That's probably true.
Okay, there's the
What were you
bright
gonna say,
side,
Mike?
I guess.
Mike,
Mike?
was
No, which entity made that decision?
Miami-Dade County right now made that decision along with the Army Corps of Engineers. They're giving them permission.
Because
Yeah, I know.
the Army Corps of Engineer never makes a mistake.
Right. So I mean, they're it would be nice, but Bal Harbor, you have to understand, Greg's been to Fort Lauderdale Beach, beautiful beach up there, and Sunrise, all that area.
Right.
There's plenty of parking for the population to go out there and go to the beach. You go to Bal Harbor, they say they have a public beach, but then ask how many parking spots do they have for
Not
that public
quite
beach?
as many, I'm guessing. Is that a
Yes.
fair assumption? Right. All right, more coming up on the world of boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other two-thirds of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
Okay, everything sound good to you guys?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Sounds
Yeah,
as
it
good as
sounded
it
good to
did
me.
when I first logged on.
All right. Say it again,
Nothing.
Patrick.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I help you?
successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Come on, babe, let's go outside and take the boat out for a ride. I'm ready, I don't wanna wait. Cause the only time I'm feeling free is when I got that ocean breeze, or kicking it out on the lake. Cause I want it, gotta have it, reel it in, yeah, want it, gotta have it, gone fishing.
No, you're not going fishing. Not on this boat. You're not going fishing on this boat.
Get on board, got the sunshine and a short line, it's a good life. Get on board, have a good time, casting that line, it's a good life. Get on board.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, the first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater, Mike the mariner. We're happy you're on board with us, despite the music. I think
an interesting beat.
Yeah, it was from the Recreational Fishing Foundation. They put together that little jingle, I think, to appeal to the kids.
Hey, Greg.
Yes,
when you're doing your new boating swag,
yeah,
hats and shirts,
right.
I have a request.
Okay, I'm listening.
No more white hats, no more white shirts. They are the worst. Could you please do black and red? Black, because if you're working on your boat, you're not going to see the grease stains.
True.
Mm-hmm. And red, if you happen to be wearing your World of Boating shirt while out on the water and you suffer an unfortunate breakdown, you've got a visual distress device.
Got it. White shirts and red shirts.
Shut up.
Well, red shirts are good. They can't see you bleed in red.
Okay. Mike the mariner, what say you?
Yeah, I have a suggestion.
Okay.
I think what we need is a World of Boating logoed Rolex Mariner.
Oh, right.
Yacht Master.
I think we should
I like it.
Increase Mike's pay.
Gonna have to.
You know what?
Actually, he needs a pay cut because that's how we're going to afford to watch it.
You know what? For the record,
his salary, Barry, we're covered.
Double it.
You can't cut my pay.
For the record, double it. We're going to double it right now. And then we can cut it if it gets to be too much. All right. So there you go. All right. So, so we got this sandbar down in South Florida. They're going to dredge sand and take that sand from the sandbar, put it on the beach to expand the beach. Is that what's happening? Or no?
Not just the beach. They're going to the rich people's beach.
The rich people's beach.
If you go on Google Maps and you look up Bal Harbor and you put up the satellite view, you're going to see it's hotel, condo, hotel, condo, hotel, condo. I don't even know where the opening is for the public beach. But from what I've been reading from different travel sites, they say you might be better off going to the other side of the bridge where Haulover is, parking there, and then walking back over.
Well, any development that spells harbor, O-U-R at the end, it's fancy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fancy location.
Okay.
And the fact of the matter is, in replenishing the beach sand, are we just not, beach erosion, the increase in sea level rise, are we fighting a losing battle? Should we just surrender at this point and just let nature take its course and then just move the property lines back?
Well, it's easy for you to say if you don't have property on the beach.
Well, the hotels, there are plenty of hotels there. They could all chip in and buy some sand. But the point is they don't have to take it from a lot of people that use that area, that sandbar. They could take it from other places. And it's over $150 million they're going to spend, not just on this beach. They're talking about renourishing all the beaches up and down Dade and Broward County.
Okay, so it sounds like Barry is not a fan because you think it's going to...
There are a lot of people that are not a fan.
Well, okay, but is this why? Is the reason why because you think this affects boaters negatively, Patrick, or what? What are you saying?
I didn't bring the story. Barry
well, I'm
did.
asking you.
Look,
what
I think it's a great thing to get rid of the sandbar. I think that sandbar is a menace to navigation in an area.
Okay.
However, to Barry's point, I don't think the sand should be necessarily being done to replenish sand in an area on the coast that could well afford to do it on their own. And the other thing that I look at is when they start this dredging project, again, if you've gone down boated in that area, could you imagine what a dredging operation is going to do to boat traffic there? It's going to be insane.
Okay, maybe.
No, it will be.
Well, it will
And,
be. Yeah.
Barry, I don't know if you had a chance. I actually pulled it up. The Bal Harbor Beach Renourishment, Dade County Beach Erosion Control and Hurricane Protection Project, which I barely got through the table of contents on this thing. I mean, good God almighty. But I did have a question for Greg, because I know Greg reviewed this because I sent him the link. They have, I guess they had scuba divers in the area, and they're doing their environmental impact study. And looking at the dive logs, I have a question for you, Greg, the dive master.
Mm-hmm.
Is penmanship a requirement for scuba divers? Because I would think that these guys were down way too long and completely lost all motor control. It looks like a third grader or an ex-president of the United States filled these things out.
Well, I'm confused. You mean on a survey that they conducted while they were underwater and filling out a form, or when they were topside and they just have bad handwriting?
There's dive logs that they filled out afterwards, and it is, Barry, I know you had to have seen these. It is...
Scribble scrabble.
It is. There's arrows and things written out of the boundaries.
What they're supposed to do.
Okay, so what's your point? Wait, okay, they got bad handwriting. Is that...
my question is penmanship a requirement to be a
I don't know that it matters. I mean, what does the information say? What are they saying?
What you're supposed to fill out your dive log so other people can read it. What they're doing is they're doing studies to see if this sand renourishment is going to damage any environmental areas off the beach. There's a lot of sand out there. When you go south of the Haulover Inlet, it's all sand. They could bring the sand back in if they want to raise that area. But if you look again at a satellite view, it's beautiful. They already have sand. They have sea oats areas there, walkways, all that. As I said, there are a lot of people that little sandbar is a microcosm of all the people that live in Miami of all different areas.
Okay. Well, here's the problem from an environmental standpoint. Dredging is never good usually, because what the divers... Yeah, because what it does is the sand gets blown around, and it screws up the visibility, and that means less sunlight gets down to the coral and potentially can kill the coral, because the coral that they do have, which is limited in that area, by the way, it's not super great regardless, needs sunlight to flourish. And this happens all around the world when they do dredging projects like this. So just the turbid waters that are created from dredging create an environmental problem for, people that are concerned about the corals in the area. As far as the sand, if they're going to dredge it, I don't see a problem with them putting it on the beach. I mean, if it has to go somewhere. So,
yeah, but it's going to an area to protect multi-million-dollar homes.
Yeah, well, it does. I mean, who has the money is going to get protected first, probably.
Just build a wall. Start building a seawall to protect against the inevitable rise of the seawaters.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess we realize this has nothing to do with boaters, because...
Yeah, it does.
Okay, explain to me next, maybe, on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Imagine traveling twice as fast as you can drive. Imagine taking friends and family snorkeling, surfing, skiing, shopping, and more to exotic destinations. Imagine attending business meetings in cities far away and still making it home at night. Or just imagine exploring the wild blue yonder. Quit dreaming about it and get to it. There has never been a better time to become a private pilot, and Flight Training Professionals in Orlando will show you how. Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is your full-service flight school. A state-of-the-art flight simulator, a fleet of the latest Cessna aircraft, and a staff of full-time seasoned flight instructors are just a few of the many reasons Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is the place to start your aviation adventure. Call 407-896-0077. That's 407-896-0077. Or go to ftpros.com. That's ftpros.com.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater, Mike the mariner, rounding out the crew. Okay, so they got a new dredging project they've announced in South Florida. It would affect the sandbar down there, which is a very popular site for boaters. And I know anecdotally, you're saying this is a popular site, Barry, down in your neck of the woods. But are they making a big stink about this?
Yep. It's been in the local news. The boaters are angry.
Okay.
There are these floating little barges. I call them floating roach coaches, but they cook, burgers and hot dogs, and they have meat, food there.
Yeah.
And they make a living there. And they're going to lose their business. There's a lot of boats that go out there on the weekends. It's a great place to throw an anchor out, let the kids run around. They're going to be safe because at low tide, some of that sand is actually exposed. You'll see them making their little sand castles there. And at high tide, you're not more than 3 feet of depth.
Okay.
So it's a nice area. There's nothing else in the area for that. There's the only other sandbar that I know of is up in Boca Raton at the Boca Inlet.
Okay, I get this. Now, but Patrick acted like he was happy to see these sandbars go. Am I misreading you there, Patrick? It wouldn't be the first time.
No, and I'll even say this. Up here where we're at, we've got a place called Disappearing Island.
Okay.
I'd be happy to see Disappearing Island go.
To disappear.
Why? do you not want people to enjoy their boats and enjoy the boating lifestyle?
point.
I mean, what's the
problem,
what's the
Patrick?
rub there?
Well, here's the thing: the Disappearing Island, and this will happen down there as well. If you were to dredge, it's just going to build back up again. So if you're dredging to maintain a navigable channel, to allow for the passage of commerce and or pleasure boats, that's one thing, and you have to look at a long-term solution that you're not going to have to redo it in 5 years. If you're doing it strictly to, hey, this is the closest place we got, or hey, somebody on the county commission said we don't want the boaters here, so let's go ahead and let's target this area and let's get the sand taken out of the way and let's go put it over here. Believe me, in the state of Florida, you've got other places that you can get fill sand from to replenish beaches, because it was done up here off the Patrick Air Force Base quite a few years ago.
All right, so Barry, not a fan. Patrick, kind of a fan, I guess. That's all I got out of it. We're coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Now return to Night Boat, the crime-solving boat.
Faster, Night Boat. We've got to catch those starfish poachers.
You don't have to yell, Michael. I'm all around you. Oh no, they're headed for land.
We'll never catch them now.
Incorrect. Look, a canal.
Oh, Night Boat, go!
Oh, every week there's a canal. Or an inlet. Or a fjord.
Quiet! I will not hear another word against the boat.
I was young, I was dry, but to sail I would go. 1 hour on the water, I was soaked down below. Though I tried, I couldn't hide from my mother's piercing view. But all she would say was, a big boy like you. Wet before,
wet before,
wet behind,
wet behind.
We're the members of the Wet Pants Club.
You get a little pissed here.
Wet before,
wet before,
wet behind,
wet behind.
We're the members of the Wet Pants Club.
This is the world of boating. Greg, your first mate. I'm a proud card-carrying member of the Wet Pants Club. It just happens when you're a boater sometimes because water, gets into those areas that you got to sit down on your boat. And
Then you got the worst
too much
person ever
beer.
driving that boat. If you're
yeah,
getting water
well,
inside
that's
to get
true.
your pants
Captain
wet.
Patrick was at the helm. That's who I'm putting
Incorrect.
the blame on. Hey,
by
Bill,
the
the
way-
engineer, is with us now. Hey, Bill, what's going on, buddy?
I am glad to be with you, and it's nice on a Saturday afternoon to hang out with a group of intellectually stimulating individuals such as yourself.
Well, you can see Bill. You can see Bill on Facebook Live and YouTube, and the fact that he doesn't even wear pants doesn't mean he's not allowed into the club. So
Keep the camera up.
Yes. Face the camera. Don't
do it. Don't do it.
Oh, dear God. We apologized in advance, but I don't know if it'll cover that one. Regardless, we've covered this sandbar issue enough, haven't we, Patrick? Can we move on to other stuff to navigate through, or what?
Well, actually, the fact that we've got Bill, who is known in another life as the 5-minute professor and is a term that I have coined for him, a podcaster extraordinaire with multiple podcast platforms out there, which Bill will, I'm sure, mention before he leaves us.
It's the only reason I'm here, just to get my plugs in.
That's right. There you go. Evidently.
So we were talking about this dredging story down in South Florida that got Barry all, that watch cap he was wearing when the story started was white.
Wow.
It is now red. His temperature has
Blood
increased
red.
so much.
Yeah.
So I kind of made a comment about the U.S. Army Corps of Engineer, not mentioning the fabulous Florida Cross Barge Canal that I think 20 miles got dug. Any take on this story? I know you had multiple hours to research, Bill.
I don't have a unique take about it. I know that one of the things which sometimes happens is that sometimes the people who do the work get blamed for the work when what the work is determined by people that don't have any idea how to do the work. Does that make sense?
No.
I'm confused. Okay, well, it doesn't make sense, but there are a lot of projects. It doesn't make sense, but it's the reality of it that the United States the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been a part of a large number of projects, and they do their part as well as they possibly can within the confines of how things are set up. To give you an idea as to how good the Army Corps of Engineers can be, they built the Pentagon, the largest office space in the world, in 16 months. So
fake news.
But here it's the why, not the how, is the issue here. Why that sandbar?
Right. They were given the instruction to go and do this project. This is really where I'm coming from on this. It's that when the U.S. Corps of Engineers goes in to an area, it is because they have been given a specific task to perform. They are told what ends up needing to happen, usually by politicians who usually don't know what in the name of Sam Hill they're doing.
Well chosen words.
I like that. Sam Hill and everything.
And that's really what it comes down to sometimes. When you're asked to do a job as an engineer, you're not asked, is this the job to do? Is this the right job to do? You are told what the parameters are under how much you can spend, how much time you can spend doing it, what you're supposed to do with the refuse that is created from your project, and then you go and do the job as well as you can. And to blame the Corps is probably putting the blame in the wrong spot.
Well, I think that I was the little bit that I was able to research was that they actually wind up that they're given the project and then they hire subcontractors.
Well, a lot of it today, this wasn't always the case, but a lot of it today is general contractor work. That the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is just making sure that people do the work that they were hired to do.
At 3 times the quoted price.
Well, and some
they're
of
project
that,
managing.
Some of that is also purposeful from the politicians that came up with the project. There are a lot of projects which are projects only so that they can be money-making vehicles for the people who are going to do the work.
Hey, by the way, is Tracy manicuring your eyebrows? Because she is doing an awesome job.
Thank you. Actually, I manicured that myself.
Yeah,
Wow.
the unibrow's kind of gone, so it looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of our topics this week on the lady and
That
the
was
professor.
random.
Yes.
That was random.
You know, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been a part of every major military operation in U.S. history from the U.S. Revolution forward. They built forts for General Washington. They built fortifications along Breeds Hill and Bunker Hill. They built Fort Washington in what is now New York City. And they were part of the Manhattan Project.
They built the dikes around Louisiana that broke.
Yes.
No, hold on, though. Hold on. Wait a second, though. If you did any research at all, Barry,
yes,
none.
They made them. They said because they were all earthworks, and they gave them specific. They gave the local government specific instructions on what they needed to do to maintain them, and nothing was done. This is the biggest problem with infrastructure: is you can build a bridge, but if you don't take care of the bridge will fall down. You can build an earthworks dike that will hold back the sea, but if you don't maintain it, it will eventually succumb. Because
it's like Bill's eyebrows.
They will
if you don't manicure them, you get one single eyebrow.
Well, in this case, when it comes to the boaters in South Florida, it just sounds like they came late to the party, and their rights or their goal of hanging onto the sandbar didn't really get considered when they put this project forward.
I don't know if they were really informed about it, and I have a feeling
sure
that we're going to hear more about this.
Hey,
Okay,
Barry,
sure.
Quick question. Has anybody looked, and again, I wasn't able to go deep into that report because it is, the only thing I saw was that scribble scrabble from the dive logs.
Right.
Do they know what's going to happen to the waters in that area when the sandbar is gone? So in other words, it's been, when was the last time it had ever been dredged?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look. Wait,
Okay.
I know I've seen dredges. The intercoastal runs right next to it. So again, look on Google Maps and you'll see where the deeper water is, but it's not really deep.
Well, once again, any dredge project creates problems for the underwater environment. Like I said earlier, just because the sand gets churned up and it cuts down on the visibility. So it does affect diving recreationally. So divers probably not a big fan of this, but also it does affect the coral in the area because you get less sunlight down to the coral. Because
But more than that is what happens to the water flow that's been naturally, because that sandbar, it gets diverted a certain way. You take that sandbar out, and now water is going in areas at a higher rate of speed and causing unforeseen erosion in other areas. You've created a potentially bigger problem by taking the sandbar out.
Well, that is part of the Army Corps of Engineers duty to kind of see how that affects other areas. Because when you do a beach renourishment project like this, what happens is you'll add sand to one beach north, and then that affects the beach south, and there's more erosion. So they're supposed to kind of take this stuff into account because up and down the Florida coast, this is going on all the time. And, what ends up happening sometimes is one county starts suing another county because, hey, you changed the water flow. Now it's taking our sand away from our beach, and that's not fair, blah, blah, blah. So the Army Corps is supposed to kind of take that into account as when they do these projects. I know that because I actually followed a case like this around Sarasota quite a bit a few years ago. So we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's closed the book on it.
Mhm.
I think the fact that it's made the news, that you're going to see groups start to band
Up
together
in
to
arms.
try to fight this. Yeah.
Boaters unite
Well,
against
the
the
boating
dredge.
lifestyle, one of the
They should.
besides fishing, is just hanging out at the sandbar.
That's right. Don't
We are
take
not
away our
issuing a
hot spot for the weekend. Where else are we supposed to have our, wet T-shirt contests and things like that on Columbus Day? Come on. I don't even know if there's T-shirts involved anymore, actually. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I'm really excited to check out these beautiful waters with you in a really cool way.
All right.
See that boat over there?
Yeah.
I think we're
Is
going to
that all right?
sail on it today.
Oh my God, yes. There we go. This is literally a dream. This is not real life.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Whoa, yes. This is the world of boating. The Bachelor back on TV, doing all kinds of boating things. And
Where's the sandbar? I don't see it anymore.
that's right. They'll be up in bar. You know, where else?
Disappearing Island.
They're supposed to go make love on the beach, you know, for one of their fantasy suite dates or something.
Has a reappearing mode, though.
Won't happen in South Florida anytime soon. All right, Patrick, what do you got?
All right, so wanted to run down some headlines here. With Bill joining us.
Yeah.
I give Bill a shout out. Bill, if people want to find you, how can they do so?
They can look for me at 5 Minute Professor on Facebook. And I also have a couple of live stream podcasts that you can find if you go to 5 Minute Professor on Facebook. They are The Photographer and the Professor and The Lady and the Professor.
Right.
All right. So all of the stories that we've talked about, which to this point has been one, can be found on the World of Boating Facebook page or worldofboating.com. Stories we're not going to get to are Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos are on the loose, terrorizing boaters.
Wow. And they are finding a way to survive in nature. So it is Jurassic Park. Nature finds a way.
Awesome.
He had hippos and spent literally millions of dollars feeding them. And then when he was gone, they just fed themselves.
But these are more energetic hippos than normal, right? I mean,
no. The cocaine does not make them more energetic.
It doesn't? Are you
sure?
They were purchased with cocaine money. They don't take cocaine.
Yeah, but they were
'Cause
eating.
I just picture this hippo on plane flying across this lake.
But as far as what he was feeding them, wasn't he feeding the hippos, his enemies? And isn't that what they were
Are they
for?
meat eaters or are they?
They will eat meat.
Yeah, they are.
They will eat meat, but they are vegetarian by nature.
Yeah.
But
All
they
right,
kill lots of people every year.
They do
Other
kill
stories
lots of
that-
people, but not
Yes.
for food.
Yeah.
Other stories
just
that we can
to be jerks.
Just for sport. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Patrick, what?
Other stories that we can check out on the World of Boating Facebook page and worldofboating.com. Getting ready for the yacht races, the American yacht, which if you've seen these new designs, their yacht literally launched itself out of the water. And we're not talking about a small sail yacht. These are racing yachts, and anything that's going that far in the air should have a in-flight meal.
Or a propeller, maybe.
Turn a good boat into a bad airplane.
So they fly better than they cruise.
Yeah. There's also a really cool video, if you will, that got posted. A very, very big day out at Waimea Bay. Super swell. And you had some jet skiers out there. One who unfortunately actually suffered a compression fracture in his lower back because these jet skiers that were out there, of course, to help the surfers. This huge set came out of nowhere, probably in excess of about 50 feet. Some of them turned around and started racing in. Some of them decided to head out. And the ones that headed out, they got launched. So that's a pretty cool video if you want to check that out. Also, Galleon Boats has launches their outboard series. This is another transformer boat that I'm not real fond of. This is one that's got the gunnel hull side that folds down to create more deck space.
But it has one of those buttons that you press and it transforms into like some kind of robot or something, or what?
Everything you said is
accurate,
correct, with the exception of the fact that you press a button and it transforms. So basically, your name. You got your name right.
Okay. What don't you like about that, though? You get so much deck space for when you're anchored out scuba diving, or
Then buy a center console. I don't like them because the structural integrity of the hull and deck. I am not convinced, just aft of a midship, that these are, boats that have the tuna doors. The alignment of those doors, I don't care who the manufacturer is, almost every one of these winds up getting massaged to fit correctly. And I can't see that that's any different than these boats where the gunnel sides, the actual hull sides of the boats fold out. Of course, the boat's not meant to run when these are down, and I haven't looked far enough into it to know if there's a lockout mechanism that would not enable you to start the engines and run the boat with these down.
Would be cool.
So are you not a fan of side doors on any boat?
I didn't say that.
He's not a fan of anything. Or
No, I didn't say that.
What he's saying.
I'm not a fan of the boats where the literally the aft quarter of the deck, the gunnel, folds down towards the water.
Yeah, but it's so cool and impressive when you press the button.
There's no button. Let me say again, there is no button.
No, it's a remote.
Well,
there's
no
a remote.
button on the remote in there.
There is no remote. There's no button. Now, last week, how to spot a true USCG licensed captain.
Oh yeah.
From a fake captain. A couple things you should be aware of. Current credentials back in the day, we actually carried our credentials. We're actually in a little like briefcase. They're now in like a passport book. Mm-hmm. Also, if you want to verify that your charter captain is actually a licensed captain, ask to see his TWIC card. If he doesn't know what a TWIC card is or he can't produce it, I guarantee you.
I'm not asking that.
Hey, Barry has a TWIC card. I know he has one of those.
TWIT or TWIK?
Yeah. TWIC, Transportation Worker
TWIC
Identification
card.
Card.
I think, I don't even think we need a card for our crew. I think all of us qualify as official twits.
It's Twit.
Okay.
Twit. You can be the twit.
Twit. Got it. Okay. All
Again,
right.
This is my last show.
One can dream. All right. On that note, we'll wrap it up till next time. Remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a floater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Here, you barnacle-bitten swab.
World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.